Have you ever gotten in one of those moods where you change one thing in your house and then you want to just move your whole house around? So yesterday was my rest day and I literally like fluffed up a beanbag, moved a couple of things, and now I'm just in this rhythm of completely redesigning my house. I want to show you one of my favorite finds I've ever gotten from a bookstore. It is by Lynette Jennings. Lynette is an OG. So she has this book, Straight Talk on Decorating. And what really grabbed my eye in the book was that she has like awesome pictures and words, which I love. But also the text in the book, she'll like highlight certain sentences and make them bigger in different colors. And she does this throughout the book, which I really like and is really eye-catching. So I'm going to show you one of my favorite chapters in this book that I've read a few times and has totally redesigned my whole place. And that is her chapter on freedom. So she first, and this is all just the text in the big letters. She says, how do you spend most of your time at home? And then she says, the American house plan hasn't kept up with our varying cultural lifestyles. The whole point, this is a chapter on freedom. And then the next it says, how do you really want to live? And she talks about breaking traditional molds in your home and not necessarily doing what makes sense, but giving energy to how you live. So just design at its best is all about freedom to interpret a space for a non-traditional use, freedom to live in your own era, and freedom to make the living room into a pool room. And there's some crazy houses here. Like, what I love about this is this book is old, and the places in here look so modern. Freedom is all about doing what you want, what feels right, and what looks good to your eye. Face the truths about how you want to live in your home, how you interact with your family and friends. Now, for me, I don't have family and friends a lot. I mean, most of my family and friends are back in Chicago, and so I need to design a space to live solo, which you take like a traditional living space, totally flip it on its head. So let me show you what I did last night right before I went to bed, and we're keeping the same energy today. What I did yesterday is insane. I put my couch that used to be right here in the living area, as couches do in the living room, and I moved my couch into my bedroom. And now, if you look at it, it's right up against my bed, which may make no sense, and it's in front of this back porch area, but let me tell you why I did this. My apartment is 2 rooms. It's that back room and this room. Although it may not make sense to the eye, now I have a whole new mini space in the house, which is this awesome reading nook. Also, that meant that now these carpets now layer my bed, which just makes sense. And now we added that whole stretching active space over here, which is awesome because this is more of just an activity, let's get active feel to the room. So why was this active space over in the rest space? No wonder I never did my stretches. Now, well, I'm ready to go with my stretches. I mean, we got big speaker buddy here, and it just makes more sense. So I have the big things figured out. Like I moved the couch, the big things, but there's still little stuff all over the place. Like I have all of my recording items kind of all over this table. I want a good like workbench for my video, for like all of my camera gear. One of my favorite quotes is, you can't change the world until you clean your room. Like you think you're gonna change the world, your room isn't even clean. That's by Jordan Peterson. And you know, what's interesting about me is my room gets changed so much around because the way in which I'm trying to change the world is always changing so much because I hop from thing to thing because I'm not niched into this particular traditional life path. And so I'm at this new place now where I'm making more YouTube videos, and I feel like it's a time to change my house to give energy to that idea and really make it easy for me to be able to create YouTube videos and make it completely effortless. There's no obvious place for me to put all my camera gear right now Right now I have it in my closet and it's just looking super messy. Here is where all of my current camera setup is, up on this shelf here. Just tons of random stuff. It actually is not the most convenient because usually I throw my dirty clothes in here and it's kind of like up high, like this isn't comfortable. Like my shoulder's way above it's just not ergonomic. So I need to find a new place for this. So option number one for where to move all of my camera gear is number one on this desk right here. This actually seems pretty reasonable. Especially now that I've moved, like I've kind of created like a reading nook in here. I feel like a little, almost like, you know how when you go to the library and at the library you can like check out like camera gear and like movies and DVDs. I feel like putting my camera workbench gear set up here almost feels like I'm at the library renting out like a DVD kind of thing. Now the only downside is if I don't put my camera set up here, I'm probably just gonna keep like my air filter phone, like keep it very minimal, and it'll be more of like a bedroom kind of feel as opposed to a workbench. I'm gonna show you option number two. I have these like things right here. And see, here's the thing, I need a plug-in, but if you look, this door has a really interesting setup where when you close the door, when this is pushed in, it's on, and then when the door opens, the light goes on automatically, but there's a switch here, so I could potentially loop that here and have the camera set up here, which is good because then it's kind of hidden, it's like kind of private, and this may be the better option. And then we just have to make this closet a little bit more functional, just a little bit more. If you've ever seen the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once, you know what's going on here. Option number three, we put it on this bookshelf here. Now again, you need a plug-in, and so the best thing that I could do is there's a plug here, loop that around and like tape it and just bam, have it here. And then I just have a little plug-in setup right here and I have it on my bookshelf. Option number four is right here. So I actually installed like these cool LED lights that make this place look like, when they're on, it looks like Batman's like weapon arsenal. And this keyword could be a great spot for it, for the things here. There's two issues with this spot. The first is that the beanbag's here, so like you kind of have to, the beanbag's kind of in the way. I can move it over a little bit, but it's still gonna be like, beanbag's kind of in the way. The world's biggest. Number two, and really the bigger issue, is that this sink goes crazy. It literally takes one spoon flipped upside up in the water for all of the camera gear to be just completely ruined. Honestly, this is why I've been wanting to change this, because I have some awesome books here and the water's been splashing on them, and I'm just now scared that it's low-key when I open it, it's gonna be all moldy, which has happened to my books before. I've had to throw some good books out, specifically a book on Chinese carpets, which I love how just unique that was. If I were to listen to OG Lynette Jennings, what's under Lynette Jennings' mask? Another Lynette Jennings. What would she tell me to do? I have a plan. We're gonna go with option 4 for my new camera gear workbench, which is this space right here, and here's why. If I were to ask what would Lynette Jennings do, she says make it functional, and here's the thing, this little reading nook is not functional at all. I never read here. I usually read in that other room. Now my couch is in there, so that's really the new real reading nook. Also, my books are getting all wet and ruined. I can't even read this awesome book about Midsommar or Euphoria fashion because it's under the plants. And also, I have this LED light strip up here that once plugged in is gonna make it look like a Batman weapon arsenal. So I move my books here. I think if I move this beanbag over enough, I mean, this is a pretty solid wall. This is good enough for me. I just have to make sure that I tuck my bikes in like pretty well. Yeah, we're gonna have to think about that a little bit, but this to me feels like the spot. Now the biggest thing this is the perfect spot in theory, because then I move all of my books over here into my new into my new reading nook. So it's perfect. It's perfect. But the only thing is the fact that all of my camera gear is literally hanging on by a thread. because of this faucet right here. It takes one spoon to ruin all my equipment. So I need to think about how can I not get my stuff wet, and I think I have an idea. I was doing research for where to get my big idea, where to buy something, and I ended up looking at the reviews of a local gas station. And if you ever want to have a great time, read the reviews to a gas station. Okay, this stuff is crazy. This starts off with, hey, it's Porsche. A local guy talking about this Caucasian employee was disgusting behavior. It shows how miserable life is for you. I'd hate working at a gas station too. Well, just saying, working at a gas station is pretty noble, but, I don't know. She was probably wronged. Then I have, they fired this pregnant lady knowing she was expecting. That sounds bogus, and they left a review. Here we go with this guy. Don't bother buying beer here. Here's the best part. Welcome to good old uneducated Texas. Another reminder of why I left. Man, these local guides are ruthless. This gas station allows thieves to use your card. Wow. Well, I can't believe they do that. Is that listed on their services? But then here we go. Here's the bright light in the world that the world needs but doesn't deserve. Look at all these thumbs up emojis. Great gas station. Attendant John was awesome. You know what? I need to get better at leaving reviews like this at places when a worker is just really nice and makes my day. But this guy is definitely going to stop again when he's on that side of town. I mean, that gas attendant, they really had to shake up. And it just goes on. I mean, this is too much. I mean, this lady's wearing a ball gown at the gas station, and I mean, this just seemed like a life-changing experience here. So, little did I know. You look at your gas station reviews, and it's just filled with life. Anyway, on to my plan to go get my solution to fix my new workstation desk. Hey, how are you?
All right, how are you?
I'm doing pretty good today. Yeah, I will do. Thanks. It was good talking to you.
I tell where kids can go.
They're rambunctious. Have a good one. Those rambunctious kids change their mind in a heartbeat. Terry's saying that kids change their mind in a heartbeat. Really think about what I've been saying about how I change my mind in a heartbeat on what I like to do, trying new things. I guess, is that the inner child in me that is always being curious of new things and not just staying to one thing? Is that honing your childlike spirit is constantly doing new things? America, Walmart. Walmart gets a lot of hate, but Walmart is my people. When I go to Targets or anywhere else, I just don't resonate with the people as much. Everyone's kind of on their high horse. But I feel like here at Walmart, I've seen so many cool, unique styles. I feel like everyone's so in their own wave, whereas you go to a Target and everyone's kind of dressed the same. Here, everyone's doing their own thing, and maybe it's because I grew up going to Walmart, but I feel like this Walmart encapsulates it has a negative connotation, but I feel like it's the most just down to earth, grounded. It just makes sense. I like Walmart. I feel like Walmart is me, and I'll be the first one to say it. I'm not scared to say that. Just because of the people. You walk around Walmart, no one really cares. No one takes themselves too seriously at Walmart, and I like that. So this was my plan right here. Seal, cling and seal. This is what we need to seal up the gap between the water and the workbench. Leak proof. I think this is gonna be a better idea, even though it kind of seems a little off. We're about to make this workbench leak proof. Seal, clear food wrap. See, now there's too many options. Another reason I love Walmart, random aisles always impress me with what they have. So I found this knitting section, and they have all these different materials. And I think I found the material. There's this material right here, which is very thick and has this kind of anti-slick kind of nylon feel. See, real shiny. I'm thinking to get something a little bit heavier than just plastic. Wrap. I think this is gonna be really what I need to be a good, and I just tape this up. I think that's what I do. Oh, I need tape. All right, so we upgraded the plan that we went in with. So instead of buying plastic wrap, we got 3 yards of vinyl, which seems like way more vinyl than I needed, but didn't want to have to go back. because I did not measure it. And then instead of just wrapping tape, I got some job site duct tape that matches the vinyl. So the way I envision this, we're about to have a big white wall. I'm thinking like the vinyl side you put here so the water splashes against it. I thought it was a genius idea, knowing nothing about vinyl. Here's my favorite thing, my cleaner in these big bottles. It feels like a better spray. Like when you put it in those bottles, specialize in the spray, has a real good trigger feel to it. Why did I think this was gonna look so much better in my head? Okay, I think we got this. We're gonna cut it and we're just gonna go. I know this isn't looking typical, but Lynette Jennings would say that does not matter. I'm imagining if I would have went with the plastic wrap plan, I feel like it just wouldn't have been as sturdy. This looks like, you ever see those iPhone game ads where it's like people defending zombies? Now that I think about it, ads are highly specific. It's probably just me getting ads for games that are zombie related on the iPhone. Does that look bad? I mean, it looks functional. What I like about this is it looks functional. It looks functional. That sounds like a way to like really try to like make myself feel good about something that looks a little, Walmart-y. Hey, shout out to Walmart though. It kind of looks like just a big paper towel roll. Okay. It looks like 5 out of 10, but functionality-wise, it's awesome because now I can finally use this. It's really an area that encourages me to like get my gear ready, have everything fully charged. I think this is awesome. I think I have another new functional little space that I didn't have before that like feels good. Having this idea and seeing it come to life is pretty cool. At the end of the day, I don't know how long this is gonna last. I always love stuff and then a month later it's taken down. I think the biggest thing for me is just moving stuff around and having that new feeling. As Lynette Jennings would say, that is the true feeling of freedom. And it's not Walmart, it is moving your place around and just being able to move it however you want. This is a big perk of living by yourself. You can do stuff like this with no pushback. I don't need any approval. So I'm gonna take that win, just the fact that I know I would not get away with doing this to my kitchen sink, living with anybody in the whole world. The fact that I can do this for myself feels really good. And feels like freedom. At the end of the day, all of this, we have 2 new spaces. We have very functional bookshelf here now. I moved the books that used to be on my new workbench and put them here. And finally, the display. Bam. We added fake plants. I am feeling 5% more like Batman with this workstation. So, at the end of the day, Lynette Jennings, hope you're proud. All right, one more finishing touch. Yo, I already had hooks up here. All right, this is the Batman set. No, I'm Batman's arch enemy right now. With this helmet above, now we're going crazy.